tennis star Roger Federer, of Switzerland, celebrates after winning the semifinals at the BNP Paribas Open tennis tournament in Indian Wells in 2018. He says fans who attend the annual competition are some of the most knowledgeable in the world. Photo by Mark J. Terrill, The Associated Press. Angela Jooste, 12, of San Diego, participates in a fan contest at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden where she had to catch a tennis ball on her racket thrown from a stage 25 feet away. She won a poster of the famous U.S. doubles team, Mike and Bob Bryan. Photo by Deepa Bharat, Orange County Register, SCNG. The gallery will resume in second. Swayne Bryan, coach and father of the famous tennis duo, Bob and Mike Bryan, entertains fans at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden during the BNP Paribas Open March 5–18. Photo by Deepa Bharat, Orange County Register, SCNG. A fan takes a selfie with French tennis player Jeremy Chardy at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden during the BNP Paribas Open. Photo by Deepa Bharat, Orange County Register, SCNG. French tennis player Jeremy Chardy signs an autograph for a young fan at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden during the BNP Paribas Open. Photo by Deepa Bharat, Orange County Register, SCNG. Fans watch as Russian tennis player Andrei Rublev hits the practice courts with Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov at the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells. Photo by Deepa Bharat, Orange County Register, SCNG. Tennis fans pack Stadium 1 at the BNP Paribas Open tennis tournament at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. The tournament attracts more than 450,000 fans every March. File photo by Rodrigo Peña. Roger Federer says he finds fans at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden to be some of the most knowledgeable in the world. That's high praise coming from the winner of 20 Grand Slam singles titles, the most for any man in the sport's history. Speaking to reporters after a routine win at the BNP Paribas Open last year, the Swiss star said fans here not only come for the tennis but also the gorgeous weather and everything else the region has to offer. They almost use it as somewhat of a vacation, he said. So it feels very laid back. It's also nice the tournament has invested a lot so fans can have an even better experience. Last year, about 450,500 basked in sunshine during a week and a half of exhilarating tennis at the BNP Paribas Open, owned by Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, which features top tennis players and has earned the moniker, the Fifth Slam. The four major tournaments are Grand Slams that award the most prestigious titles in tennis are the championships at Wimbledon, the Australian Open, French Open and U.S. Open. Still, Indian Wells remains a player favorite. They bring along their spouses and children to this event and no player can be seen missing this tournament, unless he or she is injured. The tournament has undoubtedly remained a fan favorite as well, for all the reasons Federer mentioned, and then some. This year, the BNP Paribas Open will include all of the top 75 ranked men's and women's players in the world, including defending champions Juan Martín del Potro and Naomi Osaka. Last year, the tournament introduced a number of new features to please fans further, including an interactive lounge where you can put on a pair of virtual reality goggles and get the experience of watching a match as if you were sitting courtside. The lounge also offered a place to relax and charge cell phones. Another recently added feature is the BNP Paribas Open mobile app for both Apple and Android devices with which fans can keep up with live scores, the latest news, player updates, ticket information and venue details. It even has a restaurant guide. The app also tells fans which players are on the practice courts at what times. Watching players practice or warm up on a football field next to the practice courts is probably the biggest highlight for eager fans who wish to catch an up-close glimpse of their favorite player or get a few prized autographs. The practice courts are what distinguish this tournament from any other, including the Grand Slams, said Sam Querrey, one of the top-ranked American players. In other tournaments, the practice courts are kind of secluded, he said. But here, more than watching the matches, fans come to watch the players. From the players' perspective, interacting with fans can be a fun. French player Gaël Monfils, known to thrill fans with his athleticism and flamboyance on court, said being loved by fans is a blessing and means a lot to him. Last year, at the BNP Paribas Open, Monfils did the Wakanda salute from the blockbuster movie Black Panther, after winning as the crowd erupted in cheers. "He loves the fans just as much as they love him," Monfils said. "You have these super fans following you, in the street, in the shop, not far from where you live," he said, smiling. "Can get a little bit weird sometimes, but that's the way our job as." Belarusian player Victoria Azarenka, a two-time champion at Indian Wells, said she finds the fan base here to be extremely tennis literate. "I feel like there are a lot of people who come who actually play tennis themselves and are true tennis fans," she said. "You also see a lot of kids who play juniors. So, that's really cool." Around the grounds, fans have an array of restaurants to choose from, and more opportunities to talk tennis and meet the players. Wayne Bryan, tennis coach and father of the famed Bryan brothers doubles team, Bob and Mike Bryan, a regular at the tournament, usually puts on a daily show on the grounds around lunchtime called Tennis Talk with Coach Wayne Bryan. Bryan interviewed French player Jeremy Chardy during last year's tournament as they sat on a stage before fans, coaxing information out of the shy player about his first meeting several years ago with American tennis legend Pete Sampras. Spectators laughed as Chardy talked about being extremely nervous in front of his hero and barely mustering the courage to ask for a photo together. He told Bryan he wanted another meeting with Sampras just to erase that embarrassing memory. Before Chardy got on stage, younger fans had a shot at winning a few prizes. Angela Jooste, a junior player from San Diego, won an extemporaneous contest. Bryan threw a tennis ball and the kid who caught it with a tennis racket the farthest away from the stage would win a Bryan Brothers poster. Jooste caught the ball, first from 25 feet away and then from 50 feet and 100 feet. This was her first time at Indian Wells and she was trying to get as many autographs from players as she could, Jooste said. "My favorite is Angelique Kerber," she said, referring to the top German player. "I want to play just like her," Bryan said. He encourages kids who come to watch the practices as much as they watch the games. "I always tell them, champions take it in through their eyes, not their ears," he said. Robin Iden and Jeff Locke, who were enjoying their lunch on the grounds, said they drove their RV all the way from Albuquerque, NM. The couple was staying at an RV park 3 miles away from the tennis action. Locke said he made the reservation for $70 a day about 2 months earlier. "It's a really nice RV park," Iden said. "And very convenient. This was their first time here. But they say, there's little reason not to come back." BNP Paribas Open when, March 4-17 where? Indian Wells Tennis Garden, 78 to 200 Miles Avenue, Indian Wells. Information, 800-999-1585, bnpparibasopen.com.